Tuesday to go to our Texas Lions camp.
Yeah.
So he's going to be telling us of his experience at the Texas Lions camp and what he received out of it. So let's give him a welcome, guys.
It's all yours, young man.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Sim Scott, and I am 9 years old, and I am from right here in Plano. As it turns out, my brothers and I have been on the receiving end of the generosity of the Plano Early Lions. And before I say anything else, I want to say thank you on behalf of my entire family for that. My two brothers are both on the autism spectrum. Mom enrolled us in Plano's Therapeutic Recreation Program, which is part of Parks and Rec. The manager of that program knew about the upcoming Children's Film Festival and emailed the enrolled therapeutic members about it. So Mom signed us up. While we really enjoy seeing movies in the theater, we can't go to quote-unquote regular movie showings. My older brother can make a lot of noise, and when something is exciting or makes him happy, he may jump up and down, clap his hands, and make sounds. And the regular movie crowd would just get mad because they don't understand. It's not the same seeing a movie at home, and it's just fun to get to be in a theater. Every now and then, we get to see a movie as long as it is all a special needs crowd, so everyone there understands, and everyone has a great time without worrying about upsetting anyone else. To have that chance means a lot to us. We actually didn't know before we went to the film festival in September that the Plano Early Lions had made it possible. When we walked into the theater that morning, Mom and I saw Cindy in her Lions vest. So Mom went right up to her and said that I went to the TLC camp in Kerrville. And we got to thank her for helping make it possible for me to go there. We also thanked her for allowing us a chance to enjoy not one, but two movies that morning. Cindy told Lion Howard, who came up to us, and that chance meeting at the movies has allowed me to come to tell you here in person, thank you for the movie experience for my brothers, and to give you another big thank you for my experience at camp. In February, my mom had a short window of time to get to the SAGE vendor put on by Plano ISD. SAGE is short for Special and Gifted Education. And she met Lion Renee, who had a presentation table about the Texas Lions camp. So Mom brought some things home for me to look at with her on the camp. I said I'd like to go if I could, so she sent in the paperwork for me. We got the good news that I would be allowed to go to camp in June. Apart from meeting lots of great campers and special counselors, I got to do things I've never done before or don't get to do often. For those of you who have not gotten to go to the camp, I'll tell you a lot about what I did while I was there. We'd be here all morning if I told you everything. So these will be all of the things that popped into my head. I played tag, learned all kinds of camp songs, swam, played in the gym where we can make up other games, or jump rope, or play hot potato, or hula hoop, or play basketball maybe. I got to make a bird feeder that stayed at the camp, and every afternoon we watched out for different kinds of animals. We saw squirrels, birds, rabbits, and even a coyote. Luckily, we didn't come across any snakes on the trails. I rode a tractor, and my absolute favorite thing was riding a horse named Frosty. I've never gotten to ride a horse before. Our indoor nature activity allowed me to learn about and touch animals I don't normally see, like chameleons, lizards, geckos, fish and tanks, and two rabbits hopping around while we sat in a circle and learned all kinds of things about them. In the barnyard, we got to pet goats, brush sheep, feed cows, and see the pigs. I played a guitar and all different types of drums, and even won in a drumming contest, which was very neat. Speaking of neat, our cabin also won in the Clean Cabin contest. There was a talent show, and on another night there was a party. It was a sandbox with little hidden prizes, a fortune teller, a rubber duck game, snow cones, cotton candy, music and dancing, and even a game with plates of whipped cream some people use for pies in the face of some counselors. There's just so much to do all the time I was there. I was very glad for the rest period every afternoon, though, especially with how hot it was in June. All of the counselors were just as happy to be there as on the last day as they were on the first day. Their enthusiasm was very great. They also made sure no one was left out, since some kids were more shy, which I was glad to see. Not only am I looking forward to going back next year, I can't wait for the chance to return as a counselor and help kids like me have a great experience like I did. We have had so many medical bills since 2009 for my brother who needed surgery, for my surgeries and care, and for my mom's surgeries. So it's just not a possibility for my parents to send me to camp. So the Texas Lions camp is that much more special to me. Backing up some, now I'll tell you a little bit about the medical condition I had that made me eligible for camp. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor in June of 2009. I had a brain surgery in June to have an internal drain created. And the big surgery in August was for the surgeon to try to get as much of the tumor out as possible. It was about the size of one of those small bouncy balls, and it was in the middle of my head growing from the top of my brainstem. Since that is what it was attached to, the surgeon couldn't quite safely get all of it out. The surgery took all day, and unexpectedly, I didn't start to wake up until 20 hours after they really tried to start getting me to wake up. And that was not what the doctors expected to happen. Because of that, my stay in ICU was extended just a bit, and it still took a few more days before I was awake all of the way. The tumor was classed as a grade 2 astrocytoma with grade 3 characteristics. It is a slow-growing type of tumor, so the doctors decided it would be best just to wait and watch with regular MRIs rather than rushing right into chemotherapy or radiation to go after what was left. In the last 2 years, the remaining tumor has not changed. Thank goodness. I have vision issues now in my right eye, some mild aphasia, and light right-sided weakness. That weakness affects my balance a little, as well as the dexterity in my right hand. My memory is much better now than in the beginning, so that's a plus. I still get fatigued easy, which has not much changed since this all started. There are many ologists I see for periodic checkups, and right now I regularly see a pulmonologist for reactive airway disease and allergies. I'm now in the beginning of being watched by an endocrinologist. My pituitary gland might have been affected by the tumor and the surgeries. That probably sounds like a lot, but really, considering what happened to me, I've been very lucky in my recovery. To put a little bit of perspective, my Uncle Daniel had a different kind of brain tumor called a GBM, which is a grade 4 type that can be mean. And he passed away from his the day after Christmas last year. He'll be being missed. My first day of school in 2009 was less than 3 weeks after my big surgery. And on my first day of 2nd grade, when I was still 7 years old, I read something to all 4 classes in my grade to let the kids know why I looked different since the ear-to-ear incision was still healing. I also wanted them to know why, at least in the beginning of the school year, I would not be doing some of the same things that they were doing. Someone heard about that, and I was invited to talk to the DJs at the annual Children's Miracle Network Radiothon at Dallas Children's in December 2009. After going to that radiothon, I really realized that by telling my story, I could help Children's Miracle Network. So now that is something I want to do whenever I am asked to do. What I have learned is when people get to know a child like me, who's been sick and who's fighting back from it, that can be the trigger. It can move a person from wishing that child well to instead actually donating time or resources to help the charity that that child is passionate about. You see me, you hear me, and so when you help out Children's Miracle Network, you're helping me while at the same time helping all of those other kids who need it too. That is an amazing thing, and I hope to be that child that motivates you to support CMN. Children's hospitals don't turn sick kids away if their parents don't have health insurance. The money still needs to come from somewhere to be sure the doctors and nurses and supplies are there for all of the kids that need them. So that's why it is so important to support Children's Miracle Network. When my mom is asked if I will give a speech to fundraise for Children's Miracle Network, she'll tell me what I am being asked to do. She says I can accept or decline the offer, because what I do and say is my choice, so it is not a decision she'll make for me. And she makes it clear I can say no and that it's okay. I have said yes every time because I believe it's important to help kids like me who need it. I'm proud to be a voice for the kids in the hospital and for Children's Miracle Network. So thank you so much for allowing me here to do that with you today. And thank you for the programs you support that have given joy to both me and my brothers. I hope you know how much they mean to us all and that you are proud of your efforts too. You definitely deserve to be. And keep up the fabulous work. I'm Simba Sim. Here we roar.
Whoa, what a lesson to all of us. What a lesson.
Awesome.